prophet predicted that World War III was coming. Lisa thought no one would believe such nonsense, but Mr. Burns believed it.
Release the comforting homes. Oh, excellent. Now make them into rugs.
He wanted to prepare for the end of the world, so he gathered the town scholars to help him. Burns planned to build an ark. He needed to bring some people aboard as his servants. The scholars' task was to select those qualified to board the ark. Their suggestion was to have everyone in town take an intelligence test. Those with high scores would earn a place on the ark. But the professor disagreed. He believed that an IQ test could not fully measure a person's value. The smartest people are not necessarily the best people. The professor designed an entirely new system to assess human value. This test was called PVQ.
Test 4. Sympathy and empathy and group collaboration. Artistry and neatness and complex socialization. And every single aspect of a personality. PVQ. Is that okay with me?
Burns also supported the professor's idea. Afterward, everyone in town was forced to take the test, but no one knew the purpose of the test. A few days later, the results came out. The highest possible score was 500. Now everyone's scores would be shown on television. Bart wasn't interested in the results at all. Lisa, however, cared deeply about her score. Lisa scored a high 475. She was very satisfied, but she discovered that Ralph, the fool, scored 1 point higher than her. Marge scored 311. She was also satisfied with the result. Homer scored 265, which happened to match the number of days in a year. Now Marge began searching for Bart's score. To everyone's surprise, Bart had the lowest score. He only got 1 point. Marge felt sad about his result, but Bart didn't care at all.
I don't need any test. I'm street smart.
Lisa couldn't understand why Ralph scored higher than her. She kept obsessing over it.
I'm not worse than Ralph. Hi, Ralph. Where is the string through my ears?
So Lisa began following Ralph, wanting to find out why his score was so high. She saw Ralph fall off a slide, so she quickly called the police chief.
The Wickham resident. If Ralph is stuck in something, press 1. If something is stuck in Ralph, press 2. If this is Ralph, Daddy is not in the phone. Do not open the phone looking for me.
Then she followed Ralph to a construction site. They took an elevator to a high place. Ralph walked onto a steel beam and even spun around on it. Lisa stepped onto the beam to save him. Now the two children were lifted into the air together. Ralph was about to fall. Lisa told the professor that Ralph's intelligence couldn't possibly be higher than hers. At that moment, the professor realized there was a flaw in his test. He asked Lisa to keep it a secret for him. He would give her 10 extra points. Lisa felt the extra points were meaningless, but seeing the professor's frantic state, she agreed to keep the secret. Meanwhile, Marge couldn't believe Bart was that stupid. She took Bart to see the professor.
I'm common sense since he was born, and he's not anywhere near as stupid as your stupid test says he is. And if you think so, you're stupid.
The professor had no choice but to recheck Bart's paper. It turned out he had indeed made a mistake. Because Homer's handwriting of his name looked very similar to Bart's, the person who actually scored 1 point was Homer. Homer also had the worst handwriting in town.
Can't help you laughing, son. Everyone finds out in the stupidest band in town.
How are they gonna find out?
Get tweeted.
When Homer went to watch a movie, he could only watch films for 3-year-olds. When he went to buy a phone, he had to go to the idiot section. Even the aquarium sold him a fool's ticket.
One stupid, please.
Okay, give me 40. Here's $2 back. Unless you want special.
How much is that?
Another thing.
Here's one.
More for you.
Later, when Homer went to the bar to drink, his friends also treated him like an idiot. After returning home, Homer lay on the bed in sadness. Marge believed all these misunderstandings were caused by Homer's sloppy handwriting. She decided to help him improve his penmanship.
My hand just wants to crawl in my pocket and try. Now this hand is
The next day, Marge held Homer's hand and taught him how to write. Homer became obsessed with practicing calligraphy. He wrote page after page. He even wrote many love letters to Marge. Sometimes he wrote until he fell asleep from exhaustion. Meanwhile, Burns' ark was completed. He summoned all the high scorers aboard.
and no one saved.
You say the doors are sealed.
Not this one.
Burns decided to escape on the ark himself, but the robots betrayed him.